Said he wanted it in a man bun.
Rose Hunson.
And we're back. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties, and look who has arrived. My beautiful guest.
Was
as I said earlier, I was going to have a guest on. This is my dear friend Andrew Colley. I was trying to actually think earlier how long we've known each other. What year did you go? What year did you start at State?
Started 2009.
Okay, so it was further than. So it's like 8 years. Then.
8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I said 8 years, but I did the math wrong because I said 2011.
Yeah, that's 2 years in the future.
Yeah. So that was 2011. No, it's 2008. So, anyways, you ran at North Carolina. I said State. You ran at North Carolina State, and that's where we were introduced at the All-American Cross Country Camp. You meet some beautiful people there.
That's right.
I met my significant other, I guess you would say. Yeah. So she's taking me in. Girlfriend. A girl. Girls are a foreign thing down here, so they don't let the guys out much. Anyways, that's where I first met you, and I think we pretty much
boys from the go.
Boys from the get go.
Yeah.
I don't even ever remember us shaking hands. We might have shook something else, but
probably
a lot actually. But you obviously had a pretty stellar career at NC State. You know.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. It was good. It was a lot better than my college career, which is not
I
hard.
didn't have to deal with what you had to deal with. So,
but anyways, I was super excited when Colley decided to join Zap Fitness because Colley was a dear friend of mine that I used to only get to see when he was in Raleigh.
That's right.
And I made a lot of trips to Raleigh over the years.
Yeah.
I used to.
Luckily.
Luckily. I made a lot of trips up there before you were there.
Yeah.
And then you were there, and then we became friends, and then the Morgans moved there.
That's right.
And then
back at the apartment with the balcony.
Yeah. There was a lot of good times that were had. But yeah, well, I was super excited when you decided to join us in the mountains,
in the high country.
And I told the I guess the world, however you want to address the crowd of people, the public,
the peoples,
that since you've been a professional athlete, you've had kind of a rocky road.
Oh, for sure.
Would that seem acceptable words?
Yeah.
Rocky road.
It's like driving my current car down Blackberry. Rocky.
Did your car at least pass inspection? Because mine didn't.
It passed inspection, and then literally today my check engine light came on. So
mine failed because mine failed because of check engine lights on. Apparently at High Point they actually check the check engine light at inspection. And they're like, how long's your check engine light been on? I'm like, the whole time I've had the car.
That's not a permanent fixture on the car?
I thought that's just how it was. I thought they were just always like just reminding you to check your engine occasionally.
Check your engine, man.
Yeah. So anyways,
yes.
You kind of off the bat, you made World Cross team.
Yep. Did
went to China.
Got Giardia. And graced the citizens of China with a view of me taking a big old number 2 twice on their course.
Yeah, so in the middle of the course too. So
in the middle of the course,
for people that are non-running initiated, there's the World Cross Country Championships, which is hosted every 2 years.
Every 2 years.
Yeah, so it's every other year. Colley here was one of seven guys. How many did it take? 7 or 10? Six. Yep. So it's even tougher than Foot Locker to make. So 6 instead of
that's right. Harder than Foot Locker.
Harder than Foot Locker.
That's some people like the bar.
Yeah, and some people are still butthurt about that, but we'll just leave it at that. So, anyways, you got Giardia. Just
could not. I could tell my legs could move faster, but the whole time it's like clench mode. for lack of better terms.
And it's a 12K.
It's
right?
a 12K, so it's 6 loops. And I'm talking first loop I go by, I'm like, ooh, this is going to be a rough one because I'd been up since 5 a.m., like just sick as a dog. And I didn't tell anyone because, I wanted to race. So I get to the warm up. I'm like, all right, go to the bathroom. Get 5 minutes in the warm up. Have to stop warming up in the bathroom again. 15 minutes in, I'm like, all right, I'm not doing a full warm up today. And then they corral us all. Like it's like us. I think we were right next to like Kenya and Great Britain. And I'm just like, I gotta go. So I just like ran to the porta potty real quick, and then the gun's like going off, and I like haven't even done my strides. Like, oh no, literally everything.
Yeah.
And then I get
literally shit's hitting the fan.
It's so I get through what is it, lap 3, and I'm like, all right, this
so
is
about halfway
6K. I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. I'm like, all right, do you drop out? But big thing, Colley's never quit.
I've still never dropped out of a race in my life either.
Yeah, that's right. We don't drop out, guys. We don't drop out. So I'm like, all right. I got to this point on the course. I'm like, I can't go any longer, and I just dropped trowel right there in front of like 20 people and had my business. Came around 2 loops later and did it in the exact same spot again. And it was horrific. And looking back, it's hilarious.
It's not funny at the time.
At the time, I'm like, this is the pinnacle of what I've been trying to get. I want to make U.S. teams and represent the country.
Yeah. Like every runner's goal was to put on a USA vest. Like
exactly.
to represent your country on the international stage.
Exactly.
Since we don't have the NBA championships or the Super Bowl or anything like that, anytime that you get the opportunity to put on a USA jersey and compete for your country, that's what it's like. And so you were on that stage.
I was on the stage where I was where I wanted to be. I was on the junior team, and I was like, oh, I hope one day I can make a senior team. Made a senior team, and at first I was like, maybe it's just nerves. I'm like, no, nerves don't do this. so yeah.
If this is nerves, this is the worst nerves I've ever had in my entire life.
It's like if you were to be in a job and you prepared for months, years for the big presentation, and then all of a sudden when you get to the presentation that you're giving in front of like the board members, you start talking gibberish.
It's like a bad movie. It's like a bad movie. It's like, is this really happening?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like you feel like Jim Carrey. You're just like, oh my God, is this really happening?
Exactly.
Oh. So I guess to move past the poop story.
Yeah. Okay. So we had fun with the poop story, guys.
So we spent probably 10 minutes talking about poop.
Yeah. We are guys. So
yeah, it's par for the course. So you get Giardia.
And then so with Giardia, it just causes havoc on your whole digestive system.
Yeah.
So the whole time I'm trying to come back and train for track season, and like I'm doing horrible workouts and just throwing up for no reason.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I remember that.
And the green one.
Yeah.
I mean, our boy Chris Moen was putting it to me that day. And I was like, I started throwing up, and it's just like, it's like something's wrong. So I had inflammation in my stomach for like the next 3 months.
Inflammation's a beautiful thing, isn't it? It's so awesome.
Yeah, right? You know what I'm talking about. Except much worse.
Well, no, I always tell these people, bad situations are bad situations.
True.
We've all had to deal with bad situations, bad health things.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately, life and health catches up to everybody at some point in time.
True.
So I'm not here to measure.
Yes.
But yeah. So you have Giardia.
You have to
do a lot of stool samples. I remember these.
Oh my gosh. If you guys want to hear something, I've had more colonoscopies than most 75-year-old men. So,
oh, I love it.
So that's fun. But got rid of the inflammation. It took 2 or 3 months. Mm-hmm. Start getting back into some training, like really getting into a groove, and then planner goes.
Yeah,
first time.
Wait, to the you ran did it go at Falmouth?
It went at Peyton.
Okay.
And I took like 7 days off and got worked on over in Virginia. And then I started training again, got up to 100 miles, and then I felt it before Falmouth. I was like, this thing is wrecked.
Because you still ran pretty well at Falmouth.
I ran okay.
You were right around a guy that's pretty important. And
yeah, I did get Meb.
Yeah, I was going to say Meb Keflezighi.
Sorry, Meb.
Yeah, sorry. He's won the Boston Marathon, won the New York City Marathon,
silver medalist in
the Olympic marathon.
Yeah. So
and fourth was kind of like his worst marathon at the Olympics. And it was like fourth or fifth, something like that. I'm sorry. But.
So I knew I was almost positive it was torn, and then sorry Pete for not telling you that.
But then sorry Pete if you're watching again.
Then I took like a handful of ibuprofen, tossed it in. I was like, all right, let's do this. And then
saddle
mile 1, I'm like, oh my.
And Falmouth was a 7 mile road race.
It's a 7 mile road race.
One of the prettiest road races you've ever run.
Beautiful. It's like along the Cape, and oh man, it's
in Falmouth, Massachusetts, which is outside of Boston.
Yep, really close to Martha's Vineyard, and
I didn't know that.
Yep,
I missed that. I missed that memo.
And they wouldn't let us.
I wouldn't even attempt to get close.
Yeah. So I.
You think they'd let my rednecks off there?
Yeah. Y'all like Budweiser?
Yeah. Y'all got any Budweiser in there, boys?
This is a vineyard, sir.
Yeah. So you got Budweiser then, right?
You got it right. So I get through a mile, and I'm like, because I like to go out with the big dogs.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to run with Chalanga, Derek. I think Sambu was in there too.
Probably.
And I mean, he's crushes Falmouth, and I just got to a certain point where like my breathing was fine, but my leg would just wouldn't move. Yeah. I felt like each time I stepped, it was just ripping and ripping and ripping, which was fun.
Yeah.
And then after that, went down, and Brian Fulham, doctor in Tampa, he's like, "Yep, you tore this bad boy pretty bad." and then
my favorite thing is like when doctors say, "Well, you couldn't do." Your body's going to stop you before you do a lot of damage to it. And then you're like, watch this. Hold my beer, sir. Do you really want to take this bet? Like I remember hearing an old story years ago. Dathan Ritzenheim ran in the Olympics with a broken foot.
Yeah.
Because he had like a stress fracture. He had like a stress fracture, and it was like his first Olympic team in 2004.
Oh yeah.
And he made the 10K team. And
Athens?
And he's like, yeah, so it was Athens. And he was like, they're like, well, you got a stress fracture, like we'll pad it up or something, but like you'll drop out before you break it. Like your body will stop. Nope. Challenge taken, sir. Challenge taken.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love, I mean, it's crazy, but I love hearing stories like that where it's just like doctors will be like, yeah, no, like you'll stop before you completely tear your plantar off
right.
like, yeah, no, watch this.
Nah.
Watch me go do this 7 mile race on it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So was that, and that was what, 2000 and
that was 2015.
15,
man.
and that was that the last big profile race that you've? I'm not trying to I'm just trying to let people know this.
Sure. Yeah. So and since then, plagued with injuries, and I haven't done. I did some track races.
Yeah.
I still did USAs in the 10K this summer.
Yeah.
But I did horribly because my body was still destroyed. And so I hadn't hit the roads really hard. Got a couple good races in earlier this spring, but for the most part, been out ever since then.
Yeah, and stuff just hadn't kind of added up.
No.
Since pretty much Giardia.
Since Giardia.
Yeah.
I hadn't been able to get in full training, getting like having a workout and being sore for 2 weeks. It's like people don't get sore for 2 weeks after doing strides, Andrew.
But since then, they've kind of figured out what, and I guess what I'm saying, like they've kind of figured out what has probably plagued you the most.
That's right.
Over the career, and they've been able to like kind of nail it down, which like I know from my own standpoint of like going undiagnosed with something for
so long,
like an incredibly long time gets incredibly frustrating.
True.
And I know just like as a friend of yours, and you know, when you spend so much time with somebody, you care about, you know, what each other and is going through. And it was just always like, man, like there's got to be something else that's been going on. Like,
yeah,
you know, there's Colley, you can't be like glass. You know, you're tougher than that. You know, there's something else going on here. Like, there's got to be something else going on here. There's got to, you know, maybe there's some weird deficiency. You know, like I can't even tell you the number of times like Moen and I would like trying to figure out your stuff for you, and you didn't even know it. Like, well, like sitting Googling,
appreciate it.
Yeah, Googling stuff. So, why don't you tell everybody, because you can probably explain it better than I can, like
That's
what
true.
all exactly you had done.
And I really haven't told anyone except for you guys.
Yeah.
So not many people know. So I had so me and Pete, crazy. It is insane the coincidences that led to me being diagnosed. So I had all these issues going on when I started running back. I would be sore for 2 weeks after doing something, and then all of a sudden I had like a gallbladder attack. Yeah. Where I like started stepping and I felt like I had a knife in me, and I was like, what is going on? How do I was cramping in the middle of the night after eating salad. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? And at
least let this be for like a gallon of ice cream. Like,
I know, right?
Like at least let me punish myself.
Something good.
Yeah. Like some nice oral like pleasure from like something I ate, not a salad.
Yeah,
salad's not food.
Yeah, let me eat like a pound of chocolate.
Yeah, like let me eat a gallon of ice cream and then let me suffer.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there in bed like just writhing in pain, and Ryan Warrenberg, our assistant coach here, is having his bachelor party in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
And Pete's there. I'm texting Pete and I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, because every time something bad happens, I'm like, oh.
You preface it with, I'm sorry.
I'm like, I feel really bad because every time something's going wrong, and I know it has to be just as frustrating for a coach.
Yeah.
So I sent Pete the message, and he's like, oh, man, like, Andrew, this isn't normal.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't normal.
Yeah.
Like, don't think that like something's wrong. Like,
yeah,
that you're just being a wuss.
Yeah.
Like something's going on.
Because that's what we always think. We think, we think you're
just
just being a wuss.
Yeah. I'm just like, suck it up, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's talking, and one of Ryan's buddies who's at the bachelor party is a physical trainer, physical therapist. And, of course, you're not allowed to diagnose.
Yeah.
But he's like, hey, Pete, you might want to – Pete's just talking about it because I'm talking to him about it over the phone. And he's like, hey, Pete, this sounds very similar to one of my patients. It's iliac artery entrapment syndrome is an issue that happens with some endurance athletes. And I just check out the artery issues. Like, it wouldn't hurt.
Just go look it up. Just Google it.
Some friendly advice.
If you can figure out how to spell it, Google it. Yeah. Just Google it.
And so that's what I started Googling, and me and Pete were doing some research, and I found this guy in Canada who did a big study on it, called him up, didn't answer. Then I emailed him.
Yeah.
He answered.
Yeah.
I bothered him enough that he'd answer. And then
I'm persistent like that with doctors too. I
harass them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm surprised every time they get back to me, they're not like, fine, I'll talk to you.
All caps.
Well, because they have to deal with the bureaucracy of a hospital, which is just
Yeah,
I was
talking about some of that earlier.
Yeah, it's such a pain. Yeah. And so I get in touch with this guy, Dr. Cherry at UVA.
Okay.
And he's like one of the best
Yeah.
at this. Like, he's done Tour de France guys. Yeah. Like, he's the man. and we test for iliac artery after I've already just
self-diagnosed
it and completely just crap the bed.
Yeah.
All through the summer in European races and being like, you're running like a pretty good high school runner right now. And when you've run really well and then you're running like that, you're like, what's going on? So when I went to get tested, they did an arteriogram, go through your wrist and put like a dye through you. And there's this
Did they blow up one of your veins? Because I get that happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, they were taking this wire and literally they're just like shoving it in my wrist. I'm like, guys, what are you doing? And I'm awake.
Yeah.
And I'm just seeing all this blood everywhere. I'm like, woo. Yeah. And so they get me to push down.
Isn't this how horror movies start?
Yeah.
Like,
guys,
where's the film crew?
Where's that weird guy with the white face and the spirally eyes? And then so they do the test and they have me push down with my toes.
Yeah.
While my knee's bent. Because they actually found that the iliac artery wasn't blocked at all.
Okay.
So I was freaking out. I was like, oh no.
No, here we go again.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I got to find something else that might be randomly wrong with me.
All right. Back to the drawing board.
Yeah. I got to go self-diagnose myself on Google again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, man. And so they start testing for popliteal artery entrapment syndrome. They had me push down on my foot. And they're like, that's weird. I think the machine's messed up. We're going to have you doing it again. And then I do it again, same result. And they're like, oh my gosh. Like, dude, you when you push down on your foot, there's no blood that gets below your knee. And that's on both legs. They're like, we checked your left leg and that was bad.
Yeah.
And then we checked your right leg and we were like, like,
we didn't think actually anything could be worse than that. And then we saw your right leg and we were like,
your left leg is like a really bad case. And then they're like, your right leg, how have you been able to run, dude?
Yeah.
And so
we might as well just lop it off.
Yeah. And they're like, you probably had this for most of your running career, if not all.
Yeah.
Which is
staggering.
I mean, that it makes so much sense why I always had digestive issues, because it's linked to digestive issues, abdominal issues, and constant problems with lower legs, which is everything I have and have had like throughout my whole career, and it stopped me from doing what I want to do. So I was just like, I almost like threw my arms up, but of course I have my wrist handcuffed into the side, strapped in.
Were you the loony bin? Did they have you like strapped down to the table?
It's like white
walls, padded walls. Were you in padded walls?
I was sedated, but I was awake. And so they did that, came in. By the way, Charlottesville, this was during when you guys had to deal with all that mess. So there was
something else going on.
I was in on Thursday.
How many tiki torches did you have? Probably an inappropriate joke.
But then
it's only inappropriate for Home Depot. Can you imagine how bad they feel?
Shout out to Home Depot. So I come back. I'm there Thursday. That just horror happens on that weekend.
Yeah.
Come back Monday ready for surgery. And have surgery in the hospital 3 days. It was a 3-hour surgery, pretty extensive.
Why don't you explain what they have to do?
So what they do is
some of my extensive can be, some of the people that in the community that I think like they understand extensive.
Okay.
But for a lot of the other community, like the running community, they don't understand what extensive really means.
Okay, true.
You know what I mean?
So I've got a
major.
Major surgery. I have a "Why So Serious" tattoo basically on the back of my knee now. That's about yay big and goes.
I think you should get up and I'm just kidding, pull down your pants.
Pull down my pants and show. If only I was wearing shorts.
Yeah,
I'm wearing boxers, so I won't do it. But anyways, it's looks like this. It's a scar on the back of my knee like that. Yeah. Not as long, but like that.
It looks like the Joker's face.
It looks like the Joker's face.
Heath Ledger.
Ledger, R.I.P. The best. But so
I did. By the way, I've done that like 3 times before you even got here.
so
our boy,
we miss you. So huge. They cut into the back of your leg and they fold your skin back. And basically, I had a muscle growing around my artery that each time I pushed my toe down, the muscle would contract, and it was going. The artery was like completely surrounded by this muscle, and the muscle would just clamp in and no blood flow. So they had to remove the muscle. I still can't feel the leg right now because they cut so many nerves out.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's like you can't feel it. Like that's what I always said about like poor little Tink Tink. Yeah, he was cheating because he can't get a calf cramp.
I found like 3 bruises on my leg earlier this week. And I'm like, I have no idea how those got there. So
that'll be convenient come track season when your calves are just like shredded from workouts.
Except it's like 10 months later, I get all the feeling back.
Oh God!
So
just in time
for track season.
Just in time for the spike calves. Just ugh.
That's right. And so
pain's so good, baby.
Pain's so good. So I got that done. They cut out the muscle. They stripped the artery of all veins, and I had a bunch of veins and a bunch of nerves just wrapped around it, constricting it on both sides. And so they just went in up and down. They went about halfway up my hamstring and halfway down my calf and just stripped it. And the doctor's like, yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fingers behind your artery. I'm just going to run it down and up and see if I can feel it. Like,
that makes me cool. Like, it takes a lot to make me like queasy, but I'm just like, ugh.
So I got that done, and 6 weeks later, got the left done, and then here we are. About the second one I got done October 1st, so it was about midway through August, then October 1st, and now I'm finally back up to 55 minutes running and trying to get back into it. Got Warrenburg putting my butt to shame and some lifting.
Good. Lifting's good for you.
That's right.
You know how much I love the weight room.
I know. Us teeny butt boys.
Hashtag teeny butt boys.
Hashtag no butt.
Hashtag concave.
Yeah. Most butts go like this. Ours go like that.
Yeah. It's like our back comes down and then just scoots in. That's what I used to talk about. Cameron's the only other person I've ever seen that tights would sag.
That's right.
He had that diaper butt in tights.
I was like, maybe I'll gain a little weight with this. Maybe I'll finally be able to fit into my half tights. No, it feels like it's like I'm wearing shorts. They like flare out. They're like bell bottoms.
It's a new line.
That's right. Bell bottom half tights.
Bell bottom half tights.
Guys, let's make it happen.
I feel like that's something Maggie Vesey would wear.
She would pull it off. She pull it off. And then like sleeves that bell bottom as well.
Yeah.
Just be awesome. It's like flower power.
80s all over again.
Yeah.
Or 60s. Flower power.
Yeah. True.
So you're healthy again.
Healthy. Feeling so much better, man.
You look good. But you always
appreciate it. Yeah. I finally feel like I put on the pounds, of course, because, whenever you have something done to your body, like you have no choice. You just got to feed it. It's I need to recover.
And I love it like when we're skinny fat because we complain about being overweight.
That's true.
For the general population, is just kind of like looks at us and like,
you're skinny.
Oh, you're so gross. And it's like we're complaining about.
You don't understand what I looked like
7
before.
pounds. Although I will say I have gained 15 pounds in 2 weeks before. What's the most you ever put on?
That's right.
That was work. That was work. That was hard. That's probably the second hardest I've ever worked in my life.
I know. I remember by the end you were just like, I don't want any more of this.
I don't want any more pizza or any more beer. I just can't do this anymore.
Steve Pre, how did you do it?
Yeah, how did you do this? Prefontaine, how did you do that? but if somebody's your friend, and that's kind of like why I wanted to have you on.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Because there's so many good stories that our sport has. They go unnoticed. And I mean, some of them obviously, like whether it's like Gabe Grunwald or something like mine that's been, kind of passed around a lot more. There's when people see when you make it back, because I know you're going to make it back because you're one of the most talented people I've ever met in my entire life. Well, and I've always enjoyed watching you run. I'm just here to stroke your ego and your hair.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So
I'll make it fun for you.
Yeah. If anybody else wants to come on the podcast and just get their ego and hair stroked and their back rubbed in inappropriate ways, you're more than welcome to come on. So it looks like we've got some comments here. First off, Allison, what are even half tights? So they're like the tights that come above your knee, half instead of full tights.
Half tights.
Tim Meigs, shout out Tim Meigs. What up?
Oh yeah, what's up, Tim?
Tim trains with us a lot. Tim is a stud. Tim has put me in my place on some long runs, and Tim's like twice my age. Not quite twice my age.
Honorary Zap for sure.
Does that muscle and stuff around the honorary ever regrow, or is it gone for good?
I think it's gone for good.
Did the doc just rip it out?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen how rough, because you're out, right? Have you ever seen some of those surgery shows and they're like in there just like banging on somebody's sternum or like ripping on somebody's spine, and you're like, oh my God, this looks so barbaric. Because you think of a hospital as like this nice, clean, sterile, like just like not comfortable, but like tedious environment, and they're in there with like a saw. And
So I didn't know that it was going to be brutal, but oh my gosh,
brutal.
I felt it afterwards. And my whole backside of my leg was just bruised up like crazy.
Yeah. I just remember because I had hernia surgery in 2015.
That's right. Yeah, and I remember that.
I mean, it's a very minor surgery. I'm not even saying anything, but just like I felt like when I woke up the next morning, and it's like they just go in with like two little things and do this basically.
Oh yeah.
Because I had the laparoscopic,
orthoscopic. Right.
Something like that. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Scopic.
Yeah, a scopic of some of nature. They just
Smart
go in
things.
Yeah, they just go in and But I felt like for like weeks somebody just like bashed me in the stomach with a baseball bat. Must be how Josh Morgan felt after I hit him a couple of times with a baseball bat.
That was fun.
But stockings, yes, they're basically stockings.
They're like when people wear tights.
They're like
girls wear tights in the winter.
Long men's underwear.
Yeah,
long men's underwear. Just
like boxer briefs.
Long
boxer briefs.
Acceptable boxer briefs to wear in public.
Yeah,
because I go into public with mine.
Yeah, I go in the grocery store. People think we're crazy here, so
yeah,
that's fun.
I will say this: you get it. Having moved recently away from really crazy people. Men talking about you're talking.
Start talking about rompers.
Yeah, you're talking to two fashion forward individuals right here.
Oh yeah,
and by fashion forward, I don't think my fashion's changed. And
I rock the scrunchie,
and he bought that. That's not a girl's. He bought that.
I bought that.
A lady didn't gift that to him. That was purchased. This was purchased.
This was not a gift from a fair maiden.
Yeah,
this is a personal scrunchie.
I went to Claire's and bought this for myself.
I went to Claire's and shopped around, I got the black because I don't want to be too showy, I want to keep it respectable.
Yeah. You're a respectful gal. Guy.
Gal. Yeah. From behind kind of looks like a gal. So
yeah, I got mistaken for that a lot. And because I had hair down to not quite that long, but in high school I had it down to
I've seen the pictures.
It'll return.
I've seen the pictures.
The best one, honestly, and you knew Angelina.
Oh,
is me and Angelina at prom.
Oh, and
it is just everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Miss Angelina.
Yeah.
Angelina, you better be listening.
Yeah. Another insanely talented individual. Oh, my God.
Yeah. That whole family.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Genetics off the chart.
Yeah, that family is pretty much responsible for about half of my dad's state titles alone. So, but yeah. Anyways, back to what I was actually saying is, our sport has some insanely important stories that need to be told, and they just don't have outlets.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's what I love about this.
That's why I've, when I get done with my own running career, whenever that is, whenever I decide to retire, it might be after the next iliopsoas injury. The next time some doctor even utters the word iliopsoas at me, I'm like, I don't think anybody under 30s had that issue ever.
You're gonna be like, it's gonna be like, yep. So Brandon finally moved on from running. How old is he now? Oh, he's 65. Oh my God.
I'm just never gonna hang him up. I said I'm gonna run for as long as I can, but I'm just never gonna hang him up. But I did recently find out, USATF has masters divisions, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right. You know what? Some of the, and I'm not going to say where because I don't want to give it all away, but some of them are 30 plus, not 40 plus.
Okay. I see.
So at some USATF events, I'm technically a masters athlete now.
That's cool. And scary.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it either.
I still, for some reason, you're still like permanently like 25 in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I act a day older than like 25.
Yeah, or 7.
Yeah, really 7. Especially tomorrow night.
We talked for 10 minutes about poop.
Yeah, it's Star Wars tomorrow night. I will be reverted to like my 7 or 8 year old self. Just don't ever. So at Thanksgiving, my cousin's kids were all running around with their lightsabers.
I hope you beat them.
Oh, and then I realized how nice the new toy lightsabers are compared to the ones that me and my brother broke time and time. They'd actually build them to fight now. Like they're actually like
really?
You can like hit hard with them.
Okay, and if you hit hard with the old ones.
Yeah, the old plastic cone.
Yeah,
like these new ones are like
the ones that you have to swing really hard for them all to come out.
You're like, but yeah, no, the new ones are like super tough, and then like if you hold them together, they like make crackling noise, like if they were actually like.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, dude, I'm like, dude, my childhood sucked.
Yeah.
Ryan gets so pissed at me anytime we go to Target or Walmart or anything because I just like immediately peel off to the toy aisle.
Dude, it's only a matter of time where VR headsets, you're just having a lightsaber battle with someone else.
And that is the day that I will retire from running because there will be no reason for me to get off the couch. There will be no reason for me to get off the couch.
Brandon's like lightsaber battling in his living room, and then he like takes it up, and the living room's destroyed.
He's sitting on the couch with a Budweiser on his belly, just with a VR headset on.
Just flinging boxes everywhere.
Boxes of pizza just stacked up around him.
Your throne. Oh my gosh, that's just hilarious.
Crawling my way.
Yeah.
God, dude, I'm so excited for Star Wars tomorrow night. I can't contain myself. But yeah, so back to before I'll sum up the thing about. Sorry, I get sidetracked really easy.
No, I do.
One of the things that I wanted, like, when I get done with my own selfish running career, is find ways for athletes to make more money.
Yep.
To have more opportunities to get in front of an audience.
Yeah. We need a bigger following. Man.
We need a bigger following, and
people bet on us.
Yeah.
Bet on us with money.
Yeah.
Like horses.
I would love to be traded away, and not like that sounds like.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
Yeah, I
know what you're saying.
But like, I would, I'm glad you've had the support of Zap Fitness here and Pete and Ray, because like a lot of athletes just don't have that support network.
Most
athletes don't. And I mean, I know more than there's more groups now than there was when I finished school in 2010, 2011. That time period, the group situation has changed a lot in this country.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, NJNY didn't even exist. That wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
GAGS was still in Eugene.
Yeah.
And there was like pretty much like 3 groups.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That's right.
So, there's obviously a lot more now, and they're popping up all over the place, and
people are starting them everywhere.
Yeah. People are starting them everywhere. So, cool. I want more athletes to have opportunities so they don't have to fight situations like I've had to fight, or some of our friends have had to fight and the things that they've had to go through. It's
having to take personally bet against USATF and go up against them.
Yeah. Well, I've sat down with Familetti quite a bit, and it's one thing for somebody like me or you to like talk about having struggled through the sport, but then when you hear like what a guy that was a 2-time Olympian had to put up with, and you're like, okay, so it's not just me.
Yeah.
Like,
are you kidding me?
It's like, it's, and you understand why fam, yells so loud about certain things.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
it's good that we have people like that.
Because quite frankly, I mean, like, I always use Nick Simmons as an example. Like he took stances that he never had to take.
Exactly.
Because
you got to make some noise.
Yeah, those of us at the bottom can just yell and tweet at USATF, and they'll just ignore us.
Exactly. We got USATF
is still
to do something so that when we do yell, it's heard. Makes a difference.
USATF, I still hadn't responded to my tweets about them being able to get information out about Club Cross. Like, those tweets are a week and a half old now, or a week old. So, there's just a lot of disconnect in the sport, and
it's tough because it's hard to go up against a governing body when they have the hand in who represents the country. Sometimes
they control your destiny.
Exactly. And all of a sudden you talk bad, and then you're blackballed.
Well, and the thing is too, is like, they'll look at it from the top. They're like, well, we have the best track team in the world. Why should we do anything different?
True. Yeah.
And so it's like, until it really affects their bottom line, they're not going to do anything.
Yeah. You got it. And I think the problem a lot of people get into is not looking long term with what the sport could be.
Yeah.
They're thinking of how can I make the money this year? You know? It's like every great visionary is looking down the line and seeing something that could happen and taking a hit to make it happen.
Well, there's a lot of good things happen. Your fellow teammate, like what Sandy's done.
Yeah.
Sandy Roberts just started with Sir Walter. And
quick shout out to Derek Rubis.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
What up, Rube? You guys are two of the best. Thanks, Rube. Rube Nasty, baby.
Rube Nasty. Sandy Roberts.
Yeah, Sandy Roberts. And before him, Ben Rosario, actually, that coaches Northern Arizona Elite.
Yeah.
He helped get started the Festival of Miles in St. Louis.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's where I met Ben for the first time.
It's been a great
2014, 2015.
Yeah.
And
I remember when you were in that.
Yeah. And phenomenal event. They have like kids races and stuff all day. And it was the first time I went to a track meet, and I was like, oh, wow. Like, and it's like you lose a hip number and you just hand it to a kid and they freak out,
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow, I feel like this is what an actual athlete feels like.
That's right.
Like this is what a basketball player feels like every day of their life.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's those cool moments that you're searching for, that you want to bring the sport to the people. And part of that, like as an athlete for me right now, is just trying to share some of the stories that I know are great stories in track and field, and great friends and great people.
Exactly.
And get those out there. And, luckily there's these social media things that just let you ramble.
I know.
With no filter.
Yeah.
About whatever you want. And it, it's going to become hopefully a real podcast in the, not that this isn't real, this is real, but it's going to become one that you can get and download on your phone and stuff.
That'd be cool.
Soon.
Yeah. Like listen to as you guys run.
Yeah. As you run or as you drive.
Yeah.
Or however you like to consume your podcast. Some people consume them at work when they're supposed to be doing other things.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think the podcast, like, it's a great way to create a sense of community too,
Yeah.
If you're a runner, we can connect, Yeah. Like, or even if you're a person, like, everyone goes through struggles.
Well, and that's what I tell people about my book, because a lot of people just assume it's like a running, like, for lack of a better word, like a running nerd book, and it's just like, here's the workout I did in 2016 right before the trials, and I closed the workout in 46.
Classic distance runner interview in America.
No, there's not one workout in that book. Yeah,
my training's been coming through.
I've just been doing a lot of base work. I actually hadn't even done any speed work for this race. You know, I've just been putting in a lot of base work. If I hear one more athlete say that,
dude, I get so sick of the interviews. Like I'm here hurt, and I'm just listening to people get interviewed. I'm just like,
and you just get mad.
It's like, dude, you make us all look like such losers.
Yeah,
not losers. You make us
some
all
of them
look.
Might be. But I know.
You just make us look like we're all just, I don't know, robots.
Yeah, it's
like we're real people. You know.
It's when I hear somebody say like after, well, you know, we've just been doing, I hadn't done any speed work yet. It's just, you know, it's like, well, we hadn't really done any workouts yet. And like, I just like, what I hear is like to it, like somebody too, it just sounds like, it's like, so you just you didn't want to try hard? Like,
yeah, right.
Like,
so wait, your goal is to be unprepared.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So like you just, so it's always about that next race, but like, when is that next race? You know, like, oh, we're just training through this one. You know, we're just training through this one. That's always my favorite one.
Oh yeah.
Especially when you get as like a professional athlete, and there's like, it's like in college, you kind of have to do that some because you're racing 3 seasons a year and stuff.
Yeah.
So some of that like legitimately has to go on.
Yeah.
So, but like when you're a professional, it's like, well, you only race in these small chunks.
I know.
So like, if you shut up. So yeah, it's one of my pet. It's just like, yeah, there's no personality, and that's what I'm trying to share, because even then, like, the personality that you get of people is just like a 2-minute flow track interview.
I know,
you know,
and like,
or if you've got the capital to pay flow track to come film you,
that's true.
You know,
yeah,
then you get like a nice little documentary.
Yeah. I wonder who would do that.
Yeah. So,
but then you've got like people who get interviewed, like Craig Ingalls. You know, he's a friend of ours, and his interviews are hilarious. Love that guy.
His interviews are hilarious because Craig is just, I don't know. He's a goofball.
Yeah. Well, and Ryan gives a good interview too. I was like,
he's so dry.
It's great. It's great.
Yeah. Well, and the best interview of all time, and actually, I can never make it through it without like tearing up and crying.
Bro Greer.
Huh?
Bro Greer.
No, it was Julia's after the trials, Julia Lucas, when she was 4th.
Oh my God.
And I was out sick at the time, like watching that on TV happen. And I was just like, because that was like during my first relapse, and I was sitting in a bar with my dad and the guy that was like kind of my mentor, kind of like a Bill Bowerman type figure in my track career. He was never my direct coach. But he had started the program at high school and was just kind of like he's the old, he's like in the USATF.
He's the OG.
Yeah, he's the OG. And we were just sitting there watching the trial, like watching that unfold, and her finish 4th and miss an Olympic team spot by hundredths of a second, basically.
Heartbreak.
Yeah. And then to watch her just tear herself apart and just be so like honest.
I know. It's so refreshing.
It's only Julia can do.
Julia. Yeah,
it's only Julia can do. And to watch because like what she did is like, you know, I failed as an athlete. Yeah. Is what she said. I failed as an athlete. This was my biggest stage, you know, and this has been my entire goal since I started running, was to become an Olympian, and I just failed today. And it, like, because everybody else, like, you feel like they come up with, I don't want to say they make excuses, but there's just like some, there's some like him hawing around, and they're kind of trying to find it. And she's just like, no, I failed.
Yeah. Like,
I failed. And like, she's just so brutally honest about it. And I think one of the best interviews that's ever been given, because you don't see an athlete just be that raw about it, because they actually she held herself accountable for her actions.
I love that
in the race. And that, I think that's what a lot of times what you hear people, like when I hear somebody, and it could just be the way it's coming off and not their intentions. And I apologize if that's the case, but it's like when I hear somebody say, oh, well, we're just training through this, or, you just hear all these things. It just kind of sounds like these like little weaselly excuses for something kind of not quite going right,
Yeah.
And, Julia could have blamed, any numerous number of things.
That's right.
She could have gotten mad at her competitors, for not sharing the lead or whatever.
Yeah.
But she didn't. She was just like
accountable.
Yeah, she held herself accountable, and I thought that was incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, Craig. To get back to a funny note, Craig. I had to deal with that all during the trials because he was in all my heats. Yeah, and so Craig Ingles with the mullet that he was rocking last year and the lovely mustache. He was at Ole Miss at the time.
Yeah.
And he looked like he was from
Ole Miss.
And he's not. He's from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
He's from North Carolina.
So he's basically, he's like Alabama light,
Yeah.
So, So like when his mustache went viral with NBC, like I had to deal with that NBC camera, like right here on him the whole time. And it's like,
dude,
come on, man,
crazy.
I'm right here.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, like he, I failed at the trial some myself with dealing with the nerves, and I wish that I could have embraced it, like Craig,
just having fun.
Just having fun. And that's why I want to go back, because I want to go back and have fun.
Exactly.
Because I didn't have fun. I didn't have fun.
You'll have when you do go back, you're gonna have.
Yeah.
When you have fun, you're gonna do better.
Yeah, exactly. You're not nervous. You're not. Like I remember Graham, and so Graham was one of Graham Crawford, who now runs for the NJNY.
Yeah.
Ran at North Carolina State.
Yep.
Burlington Hood rat.
That's right.
Through and through.
Loves Biscuitville.
That place. Have you ever spent time at Biscuitville?
No.
Just imagine disgusting Bojangles. Imagine if they put like crappy Kraft cheese singlet on a Cajun filet biscuit that had been refried at McDonald's. That's how I describe Biscuitville. Gosh. So, anyways, I remember Graham and I having this conversation. So we got through the first round of the prelims, and we're like, we'll just get that one over with, get the nerves out of the way.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we won't be nervous for the second round. And then we were warming up for the second round. We were both like, I'm more nervous than I was yesterday.
It's like, why won't you let me do what I want to do? I just want to have fun.
Yeah. It was just like, it was so funny because like he and Craig and I had warmed up and cooled down together every day. And
that's awesome.
It was hilarious because like, I distinctly remember having that conversation with Greg, like with Graham. It was just like, dude, we got to make it through this first round. Like, it's not overly hard. They're cutting only like 8 people out or something. Like, you just got to basically not screw up. Like, don't fall down. Idiot. Don't be an idiot. And it's like, we're both super fit. Like, just get through it. And it's like, then tomorrow we'll be able to really race and like get over the nerves of us both being here for the first time. And then I remember us, we were warming up, and I think I said something. I was like, God, I'm still nervous. Craig's like, Graham's like, yeah, I'm still, I'm more nervous than I was yesterday. I was like, me too. Screw this. Meanwhile, like Craig had already run the 800 prelims and like basically didn't even care, which is why he did so well.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, no, it was an insane whirlwind. Experience. And I would like to be there with a lot more of my friends in 2020. I'm staying in a big lonely house.
I know.
Pretty much all by myself.
We're gonna get there.
I want a lot more of you guys with me.
Yeah.
Next time.
Oh, I'll be there.
So, I guess that's probably a decent way to probably even kind of wrap this up. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd say so.
I've taken about an hour and a half of their time.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
So, all right. So I guess we'll pretty much sign off with both of us will be they're in Sacramento in 2020, not in Eugene.
Sacramento,
California.
Right. Sacramento
2020. Where the Thon trials 2020?
That I don't know. But
are you going to do the Thon? Are you going to do the Thon?
Yeah, I'm going to do the Thon.
You're going to do the Thon.
But if I do the Thon and do well, I'll probably try and come back to the track too.
You're going to double up.
All or nothing, baby.
What up?
Yeah. What is Chalimo say?
I'll just say and his double. Well, I don't know what I said, but you can figure it out.
Yeah.
So
what does Chalimo say? suffer or regret something about suffer now or regret it the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's only he who can say. Baby. Dude, I had the best compliment in the world the other day. I actually forgot to tweet about this, and I'm actually kind of mad about it now. I was running out at Salem Lake, and Chilemo used to run out there a lot when he was at Greensboro. Chilemo just got this. For those that don't know, he's silver medalist at 5,000 meters.
Yeah, silver medalist.
And they're like, I hadn't seen anybody run that fast out here since Chilemo, and I was like, I'll take that compliment because I'm not actually running that fast, but I will take that compliment, sir.
That's good. Yeah, that's awesome.
I was barely running 7-minute pace. There was a lot of people that run a lot faster than that out there.
That's true.
But I wish I could say I was running like 4:30, like something obnoxious. But no, I was just trotting. I was trotting.
Love it.
But anyways, Going the Distance will be live again next week. I guess 7 days from now. Be the 20th. It'll be right before the holidays. So everybody will be making the big push. Everybody be safe out there. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. If you had questions we didn't answer, I'm sorry. We were just spending too much time
talking about
poop and stroking each other's egos. So go out. Everybody see Star Wars this weekend. I wanted to make billions of dollars. So
they keep making
them. And hopefully make Star Wars real life one day.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
All right. Well, till next week, guys. Thanks, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.